Welcome, Veritas family. We are so excited to have you again today in our Give and Take. I'm Sherry Davis, and I have Dr. Fred Christian with us today. Hi, Fred.
Hello, how are you today?
Doing okay. Thanks so much for
Good.
joining us. Dr. Christian is our undergraduate ministry department chair. And since he's new to Give and Take, he will be sharing with us his origin story. So let's dive right in. Before I forget, if you are watching us live or in replay, don't forget to tell us in the comments where you're watching from. And if you might know Dr. Christian, he has been in his area of West Virginia for a number of years. So you might be in his area, and he has traveled for us on occasion and is an advisor. So there may be a number of opportunities for you to know Dr. Christian. So without further ado, let's jump in. Tell us how you came to VBC.
Well, I was I started teaching at Atlantic Baptist Bible College a lot of years ago, and a lot of the Dr. Forster was on the board there, and
Mhm.
Mickey Creed was on the board there, and so I kept hearing about these guys, and then finally I heard they started a college, in Fredericksburg, and it was a full-blown college, and so my time at Atlantic lasted about a year or so. It didn't last very long, and so I didn't get to really meet them for a while. When I went to Tennessee Temple and I enrolled in the seminary, Dr. Forster, Mickey Creed, and Eugene Nichols were all three there at the time. So
Mhm.
I didn't really get to meet Dr. Forster for a number of years after that, but Eugene Nichols and he was the first executive vice president, I think.
Yes.
And we became great friends, and we had some common ground because Eugene had some ties to West Virginia. We both went to the same college, West Virginia Tech, and so we hit it off. I've even preached for Brother Eugene when he was there in Virginia, in Leesburg,
Yeah.
and but later on, uh, I got on the board at Project 14 Global Missions, which was at that time in Knightdale, North Carolina, and Dr. Skelly was on the board there at the time.
Mhm.
So, I think that was 2017. And I worked with them to establish Global Bible University. I developed all the curriculum and everything for them. And I think it was that same year that Dr. Skelly asked me to come on the board at Veritas. And so I came on the board at Veritas, I think, in October of 2017, and I served on that board for 7 years.
Mhm.
And through all the transition from Fredericksburg to Indiana and all that. And
Mhm.
so I during that transition time, we reopened at Project 14. We reopened the Baptist Bible College of the Caribbean, and Dr. Forster. That was the first time I met Dr. Forster. And so Dr. Forster and I went down and we taught for 4 hours in the morning, and then we
Mhm.
preached in the churches at night, and we had a great time while we were down. Miss Forster went with him, and we were together all the time, and we became great friends. And so, but later on after that, you know, I, I came after I came on the board at Veritas. I realized that I was coming to after 7 years on the board. I realized, hey, I'm getting ready to uh, transition in the ministry. They don't like it when you say retire, so I was getting ready to transition in the ministry, and
Sure.
I shared that, and they said, hey, Dr. Lester said, would you be willing to come on staff? And I said, hey, yes. And so I started out, as an academic advisor. I'm still doing that. And then the department chair job came open, and undergraduate department chair, and they asked me to take that. And it's been a real blessing. But I've also taught some courses at uh, at BBC. I've taught contemporary challenges to traditional dispensationalism. It sounds really, some people say that was sounds really boring, but anyway.
Or
Uh,
very heady. Yes.
but I'm right now I'm doing field practicum, and
Okay.
I'm
So
really
I
enjoying the
didn't
field
realize
practicum.
that you had known of Dr. Forrester and Dr. Creed from Atlantic. So that your history with them goes way back. That's pretty
It goes
cool.
way back, and
Yeah,
Lisa Joyner also went to school
that's
at
right.
Atlanta. And of
That's
course,
right. Her
I
dad was
wasn't very,
very involved there. Yep,
yes,
exactly.
Dr. Halsey sure was. He was
Uh-huh.
on the board also there. And
Wow, very cool. You had
Dr.
lots of
Nichols.
ties. Okay, so
Yeah.
real quick, tell me if you can tell me why you love Veritas.
Well, my uh, education is very diverse. You know, I went from state college to uh, seminary, but I took traditional, I took module, I took distance, and so you know, and I took classes from Liberty, and you know, I took, I picked up a lot of stuff, and you know, during that time, I saw those programs and how they worked, and when I looked at Veritas and I saw the quality that was there, and I got to meet some of the people, and it just, you know, I fell in love with Veritas because it's great quality, everything there, and you know, I just see, I just see how great it really is, and I just wanted to be a part of it, and so God opened the door. He was preparing me all the time, and I didn't know it. You know, I prayed a prayer and said, you know, God, I would like to get involved in a college. Well, I'd already been adjunct to teaching mathematics at three colleges, and I'd already had some experience with the School of the Bible through Crown, and I'd already had experience with the Global Bible University. So all of
Yeah.
that just led right into what I'm doing right now. It's been a great
Oh, that's
blessing.
amazing.
Amen.
We've got Michael Raker watching from Alexandria, West Alexandria, Ohio. I always forget that part, Michael. Thanks so much for
Okay.
hopping in. Yeah, I really love to hear when people say that because we love Veritas as well. When we
Amen.
are able to convey our love and passion to others and who take and run with it and want to be a part of the team, that is one of our very favorite things. We love when
Amen.
people with similar passions and similar love for the ministry and love for people can link arms and move forward. We love that. We are so excited that you're part of the team. So,
I am too.
well, typically in the next segment, we have our guests share with students what might be a tip or a resource or encouragement, something for the students. What did you bring for them today?
Well, one of the things that I thought about when I thought about that was the fact that, you know, a lot of times people they have a lot of stresses on their lives when they go to college, especially when they're online. And sometimes, you know, they're married and they're raising a family, and they have a job and all those things, and they're juggling a lot of things. And I at one time in my ministry, I was pastor of a church. I had a job, and I was going to school to get my PhD all at the same time. And you know, it was a great sacrifice. At the same time, I was raising three children and you know, trying to help with their education and the whole thing. So, you know, there was a time when you know, I thought, man, I just don't know if I can do all this. But I
Yeah.
persevered, and I finally made it to the dissertation phase of the PhD, and it took me a year to do my dissertation. But I
Mm-hmm.
can just say right now that if I could give any advice to anybody, it would be stick with the program.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
good.
yeah, I heard a poem years ago that said, rest if you have to, but just don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
And it might come to the time when you feel like you need a rest, and that the programs, the way they are at Veritas, I mean, you can take that rest if you need it. But a
Yeah.
lot of times the tendency is to, if you take a rest, to quit altogether. Well, if you have to rest,
Yeah.
just don't quit. Just keep
Yeah.
on going.
Yeah.
Because I can look back in my life, and when I presented Veritas recently down at Tays Valley Baptist Church there in Hurricane, West Virginia, that's one of the things that I told them. You know, I got my master's degree. I was over 40, and then I finished my master's degree, and I was 55 when
Mm.
I finished my PhD. So, you
Wow.
know, and that has been one of the greatest blessings in my life at this point. And I'm so glad I did. And if you ever get to the place where you feel discouraged and you feel like you just can't do it, yeah, rest if you have to, but just don't quit. And you'll find the blessing that I found, I believe, in the end. And that would be my tip if I don't give you any other kind of
Yeah,
tip.
that's good. Denny Hastings in Antigua says, thanks for that encouragement. I know that that is such a, you've not said anything mind blowing and not anything that they don't already know that going through the school with ministry and family, but it is so encouraging to hear that timely encouragement or those words when you tend to forget in the throes,
Yes.
you've been there. I love that you just gave your whole background because you had a family, you had ministry, you took your master's degree, you got into a PhD, you've been through all the things that students go through. And so you can actually speak to the
Right.
quote unquote misery that they're going through, while it's just tough. It's a sacrifice for your family, for
Right.
your time, for your ministry, your resources. Um, and so to hear somebody who's come through it on the other end say it's worth it, you can do it, we're on your team. We're thankful for that encouragement, and we're thankful that you're an advisor, because you are a much more effective advisor, because you know exactly what they're going through. You
Amen.
know exactly what they're doing. So
I would literally sit in my chair. I had a board I laid across it. I'd lay my computer on that. And then I would stack up books beside me, and I would literally, when I was working on my dissertation, I'd go to sleep at night in that chair working on my dissertation.
yeah. Yeah, that's grit right there. That's your perseverance and your passion meeting together. That's really good. Yeah. Those who are watching, since our doctoral program is fairly new, those who might be watching this are probably not in their doctoral program, but the principle is still the same. If you're an undergraduate and if you're finishing your graduate program, you're working hard. The process is very laborious, but it is very worth it. And
Amen.
you'll be so proud of yourself. You will be so much further set up for whatever the Lord has for you. Some of you are already in ministry, you're already in your location, what you're going to be doing, but some of you aren't. When you have this degree, when you actually can set yourself up for whatever the Lord has for you, you've gotten the training, and now it's like, okay, what do you need from me, Lord? We are just thrilled. We're so excited to be a part of that. We get to be a part of the folks who are answering the Lord's call. And we have a small portion of that. We get to be the instrument, the tool by which they get to get their learning and their mentorship and that sort of thing as they get launched into fulfilling God's call. And we are thrilled, honored to be in that position. So
Amen. Amen.
well, thank you for that tip. That was super encouraging. We're going to launch into our last segment of the give and take, which is the most fun, the schmores. And again, that stands for the top 4 of any category, like Mount Rushmore. So this week's category is top 4 ice cream flavors. So we'll see. We always let the guest go first. So Fred, I'm curious if we have any duplicates, but I'll let you go first. What's your number 1?
My number one, I'm a vanilla guy. I'll tell you
Oh, he
what,
goes classic. Okay.
if I have a choice and I go to Baskin Robbins or one of those places, I get a double dip of vanilla. That's what I like.
Double dip of vanilla. Very
My,
classic.
my wife says that I'm boring when it comes to ice cream.
Sure. So no toppings or anything, just a plain cup of,
Oh, just vanilla. That's it. That's
and
what
you
I
do a
always
cone
do.
or a cup?
Well, I like to do a cup,
A
but
cup.
I
Okay.
have done a cone when there was nothing else and I was in another place.
Sure. You're not going to turn it down because it's a cone, but I'll choose a cup. I get it. Okay. That's funny.
And by
Vanilla.
the
Oh,
way, I'm
classic.
addicted to ice cream.
Oh, okay. So you're an ice cream guy. This was a good category
Yeah.
for you then, huh?
Yeah. Amen.
How
Amen.
frequently, how frequently are you having ice cream? Let's talk about that.
Well, we had some bars that were vanilla covered in chocolate. I don't remember what they call them. And as late as last night,
Okay.
I had one.
We'll
So
we'll start your support group after this. We'll get you
yeah,
enrolled for that.
yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Okay, my number 1 is butter pecan. So I'm not a super sweets person, so anything sweet that I choose is going to be actually more savory. I love a good butter pecan. I love the pecans. I love the chunks. Adam does not like anything with chunks in it, so he's always picking those out, which I think is a mistake, a real mistake. But I love a butter pecan. That's what I choose most of the time. Like I said, I don't do a ton of it, but I do. If I'm going to pick it, it's going to be butter pecan. So that's my number 1. All right. What's your number 2?
My number two, I do eat chocolate on occasion. Uh, I don't prefer it, but if there's nothing else, I will eat chocolate. And
Okay. So chocolate ice cream is your number 2.
that's my number two,
You're
right?
a real classic guy. Just
Oh,
going,
I
you're
know.
just Neapolitan going down the line here, huh?
Yep.
I love it. All right. So my number 2 is Rocky Road. Now, Rocky Road, if you recall, has like marshmallows, almonds, and chocolate ice cream. So
Okay.
again, those who have texture issues are not going to like this ice cream because I love nuts. I'll put nuts on anything because I like the crunch. But I like the Rocky Road because it comes with marshmallows too. So that is my number two, which makes me sound, in comparison to your list, makes me sound like I'm the kid, like I'm going to the store and I'm picking like the cotton candy and you're picking classic vanilla, you know. So I love it. All right, what is your number three?
Well, I've tried and I have eaten on occasion pralines and cream. Um,
Okay.
my mother was a great big pralines and cream uh, lover, and she would come on occasions in the summertime and stay at our house, and we would spend time together when my dad was away, and we would always get started on ice cream late at night, and she'd say, "I'd like to have some pralines and cream." We were really close, and so we'd
Oh,
always run out and get pralines and cream, and we'd eat it together while she was at my house. And
well, now
I
I
had,
can see why you have such an affinity for ice cream. It's got an emotional attachment for you, huh?
amen,
I like
amen.
that. How fun. All right, my number three is cookies and cream. So good old-fashioned Oreos, mushed up in ice cream, very yummy. My girls love cookies and cream. They will get it pretty wherever. That's probably their favorite one. And it's pretty wide, it's pretty prolific. You can get it pretty much anywhere. You know, some of these flavors are more you have to go to an ice cream shop to get, but cookies and
Right.
cream is pretty widely available. So they do love that. All right, what's your number four?
I like chocolate chip. I eat it
Okay.
sometimes. So that's vanilla and chocolate together. So
All right, so you got the mix. You are as classic as they come. And I'm going to use the word classic and not boring like Pam. You can tell her I said that. How about that?
she's listening, so she knows.
She knows. I'm with you, Pam. I'm on your team, and I'm going to say it more nicely here. So I love it. Okay, so chocolate chip is the vanilla plus the chocolate. Yeah, you can't beat that, right? All right, and
Right.
my number four is mint chocolate chip. And this made the cut. It was a toss up for me between the turtle. Have you ever heard of the turtle ice cream that comes with like caramel and pecans? And I couldn't decide if I liked that. So I went with mint chocolate chip because every once in a while that cool minty flavor is exactly what I'm looking for, but it was a toss up. That was a harder choice for me. So we didn't overlap any, which was good. So to recap, your top four, number one is vanilla, two is chocolate, three is pralines and cream, and then four is chocolate chip. And then mine is number one is butter pecan, two is Rocky Road, cookies and cream, and mint chocolate chip. So we've got ourselves a pretty good. I'll post this in the poll and we'll let the students decide which grouping. We'll see which ones are the classic versus the variety flavors. So we'll see which ones they choose. Um, Fred, I appreciate your hopping in today and just joining us and sharing your heart. And we're so thrilled that you're on the team and that you're part of us and we get to work for the Lord together, minister together. So I appreciate you so much. Thanks for popping in today.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye guys. Have a great afternoon.